Hey guys, it's Olivia and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a long form. I haven't done a long form in a very long time, so forgive me. It's been like I think it's been like 2 weeks since I done my last one, but I'm happy to be back. And as you guys have voted, this is about my 3 draft process. I did not do an outline for this. Lord help me. It's okay. I think I can stay consistent because I know what I'm talking about. So hopefully it's fine. So here we go. Let's start. So I'm going to be using Exposed and Masquerade as kind of like my templates, meaning I'm going to be using them as like ways to show you kind of what I figured out this process is and how it's worked for me. And this may not work for you, but this is how I've decided to write my books. And so far, I've only used it for Exposed as of now, but so far it's worked so well. It has, for me, at least. So, but if it will not work for you, then don't use it. That's all I gotta say. So, let's get started. 3 draft process. And, yeah. So, true to its name, the 3 draft process has 3 drafts. And they are all consisting of 3 drafts of a singular book, or, yeah, just like a singular book. So, I'm gonna use Exposed as an example, because again, this is the first book I've ever done this with. So, for Exposed, what I did first, so this is kind of like a step-by-step, so I'm trying to think about how to word this. So step-by-step. So basically, I'm going to do step 1, step 2, step 3, etc. about how I did this by using Exposed as my example. So step 1, so this is kind of like how to write a book, basically, and have it turn out okay, I guess. This is, again, just my experience. So let's get going. All right, so step 1. I guess, is to get an idea. Because obviously you need an idea to write a book. You need inspiration. You need something to actually write about. So for Exposed, that came from me whenever I wrote a short story, and I'm like, wait, this is a cool idea, so I started writing a book on it. Because that's a normal thing to do. Yeah, so, long story short, you get an idea, right? First step, go. Second step, I feel like, would to just be write it. Just write. It doesn't matter, like, really how good or bad it is. Whenever you have an idea to add it. Like, that's what I did. Because whenever I did Exposed Draft 1, I added whatever the heck I wanted in there. I added memories every chapter. I added, what was it? What else did I add? I added some weird stuff, okay? Weird stuff. But I was like, you know what? This could work. And just try out whatever the heck you want. Don't go back and rewrite. Don't go back and edit every chapter after you finish it. Just keep going on. That's what I did, and I feel like it was really helpful to help my creative process. So, this could take a very long time. It took me almost a year to do. If you're not a fast writer, I've heard of it taking 2 or 3 years. So, yeah, it can take a very long time. But, write that first draft. Just write it. It's very simple to do. But sometimes. So, well, after you write that draft, that first final draft, whenever you finish it, don't care when, don't care how, just finish the draft. I guess that's step 2. Finish the draft. Okay, so, like, once you finish that draft, once you have it, like, for example, once I finished Exposed, I made a mistake and just started writing my second book. Don't do that. So what I've learned has helped is if I edit each draft, at least once. So what I did is that, I think 6 months after I finished Exposed, a little under 6 months after I finished the first draft of Exposed, I decided I wanted to get an editor. And I was fortunate enough to be able to pursue that and actually have an editor look at the first 60 pages of my book. But before I got the editor, I wanted to edit my own book to make sure it was okay. That's literally the whole reason I edited the first draft of Exposed. If that never happened, I would have never edited it. Oh, this is weird to talk about now. So I basically spent about a month editing my first draft, and I ended up not editing correctly because I literally added 20 pages instead of taking anything away, which was a stupid idea, but I'm gonna talk about that. So I would just say, edit your first draft. Just edit it. Edit it. I would say while you're editing, like, this is stuff I've learned later, but while you're editing that first draft, like, keep in mind things that could, things that don't fit. Look at it critically, which is really hard to do. And I would suggest taking a break from your writing so you can look at it with partiality. I know a bunch of other writers do it, like Stephen King takes like a 6-week break, and some other writers take like a month break. So I would suggest taking some time away to look at it with partiality, especially for that first draft, because, yeah, we all have some delulu, okay? I definitely did. I thought I was gonna get first draft exposed published. Oh gosh, no. Was I wrong? Thank God. But, nevertheless, I would say just edit it. Go through, edit the draft. Yeah, basically, just edit the draft. And then while you're editing, look at it critically. Look at it with a critical eye. Like, does this make sense as a reader? And maybe have someone else read it as well. Because I had a bunch of my friends read it, and they pointed out things to me that I didn't even realize. So have friends read it. And I also had an actual editor look at it, which was really helpful and taught me how to edit correctly just by seeing how she did it. And also it helped me understand what was wrong with my draft. And I highly recommend getting a professional editor if it is in the means to do so. So helpful.